And we begin with day 2 of the U.S. government shutdown. Now, in just the last hour, a meeting at the White House between President Obama and congressional leaders wrapped up. And the result? No deal.
I believe, based on what we have seen, the performance of the Tea Party-driven, Cruz-led House now, no longer in the Senate, it's now in the House, I think that it looks like these people are headed where they want to go. Michelle Bachmann said, finally, we're where we wanted to be. We've closed down the government. She's not alone.
And so the shutdown continues, meaning more than 800,000 federal employees will remain furloughed and countless services and government functions around the nation will remain shuttered. The National Institutes of Health is shutting down its cancer trials this week and indefinitely moving forward as the government remains shut down. Roughly 200 patients, including 30 child cancer patients, were to begin cancer trials this week. Now, they won't. Also, while states' food stamp programs are still up and running, the federal program is non-operational, meaning the longer the shutdown continues, impoverished families and children depending on food stamps will see their lifelines dry up. There are also questions about the safety of food in the United States now, as a bulk of Food and Drug Administration inspectors are furloughed. And each day, roughly 80 food facilities around the nation are foregoing their necessary inspections. All told, we're looking at $300 million in lost economic activity in the United States for every day the government is shut down. And economists forecast that if this shutdown continues for 2 to 3 weeks, it could drive down projected economic growth in this fourth quarter a full 1.5 points. So clearly, pressure is building on lawmakers to come up with some sort of deal. But right now, they're pretty open about saying they have no clue how this budget impasse will resolve itself. Now, earlier I spoke with Democratic Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney, and I asked her what she's hearing on the Hill about any resolution to this shutdown standoff.
I hope it'll be resolved immediately, but no one has a clue. We're hearing all kinds of rumors that we'll be here this weekend. Some say up till the debt ceiling day, which would be October 17th. There are lots of rumors, none of them good.
Lost in this debate is the actual spending number associated with this spending bill to reopen the government. Democrats in the House and Senate have given in to Republicans and agreed to this low spending number that Republicans wanted, one that preserves the sequester. So no matter how this issue is resolved, if it's resolved in the next few days, Americans are sure to see more austerity coming down the pike. What effect is this austerity, now persisting for about 2 years, having?
Oh, well, we've certainly lost GDP. We've lost numbers of employment because of sequestration. They have laid off numerous people. We've cut spending on medical research and on our infrastructure and our education that are all important investments for the future. So it's a devastating effect on the overall economy. And some Republicans can't even say yes when they win. We've agreed to the CR, the continuing resolution of roughly $869 billion, which is a clear $70 billion less than what the Senate agreed on earlier, and it's even less than the Ryan budget. So there has been severe cutbacks already. And on top of it, to have a shutdown, it hurts our economy. Moody's economist says that for each 2 to 3 days, we lose 0.2% of our GDP rating and of our ratings, and it's a very serious thing, and it shouldn't happen. And the longer we're out, the worse it's going to be.
Let's talk tactics here for a second. This is the 7th budget showdown between President Obama and congressional Republicans in the last 2.5 years. And it seems like in each debate, Republicans bring in an issue that's unrelated. One year it was funding for Planned Parenthood. Another year it was cuts to entitlements. What would happen if Democrats began employing the same strategy? I mean, what if Democrats put it on the table gun safety reforms or a public option? Do you think that would create more dysfunction, or might it discourage Republicans from using this tactic in the future?
I think that one negative and one bad action shouldn't be repeated. Our position is that you should not add these poison pills to the budget. Totally unrelated aspects. We've had the debate on the Affordable Care Act. We've had the debate. It has passed Congress, been signed into law. by our president. It was challenged to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court affirmed the law, and actually October 1st, the exchanges have opened up, and they've been jammed with people getting information and signing up for the Affordable Care Act. So it's absolutely incorrect, wrong, I think down silly to add this to the budget. If you want to have a debate on the Affordable Care Act, let's have that debate and vote for it separately. Well over 40 times the Republicans have brought to the floor of Congress the desire to defund Obamacare, and they've lost well over 40 times, and they're still trying to attach it to the budget. It's unrelated items to the budget should not be attached to the budget.
Paul Ryan hinted that he and House Republicans may take this fight all the way to the debt limit deadline, arguing that that is what will ultimately bring both parties together. What's your response to this tactic?
I think it's terrible, and I think it's not being responsible, and it is a totally manufactured, self-inflicted wound to our economy. Our economy is still fragile, and for them to play around with our economy is just plain wrong and devastating to the economic growth we should be focusing on.
The latest news coming out of the House is that the number of Republicans calling for a clean spending bill has jumped to 18, meaning the House now has the votes, if you include Democrats, to pass a clean spending bill. What sort of outreach are Democrats doing to these more moderate Republican members to put pressure on Speaker John Boehner to bring that clean spending bill to the floor?
Well, one of the most active and really articulate leader in this effort is Peter King from the great state of New York, and of course Peter King is negotiating this and speaking loudly and clearly about bringing a clean CR to the floor. Let's bring a clean CR. They can't even say yes to their own budget numbers, so it's just damaging to our economy, and it's my constituents are outraged. And they're angry. This is not the type of behavior you expect from the world's leading democracy and legislative body. It sounds more like 5-year-olds in the playground. It's my way or the highway. If you don't give me what I want, I'm pulling out and I'm stopping it, and I'm going to stop the budget from going forward. So it's inappropriate behavior. It is harmful to our country, and I hope that there will be an agreement. I know that the leaders on both sides of the aisle are meeting with the President of the United States as we speak right now. So hopefully an agreement will be made that opens up our government and allows the many, many people that have been furloughed and have lost their pay and really have been hurt. We're hearing stories about veterans that can't get the activities and benefits that they want. That the parks are closed, the District of D.C. is closed. This is really harmful to individuals, to people who are expecting to be able to access and have certain things, and it's certainly terrible, absolutely terrible to our overall economy.
And that was United States Representative Carolyn Maloney on Capitol Hill.